of our city came from. Can you describe what the bank barn is and why we're building it?
When the king developed it was a boarding house that he actually had, which is now the inn. In 1818 became the inn when Richard Nelson bought the property. And there were stables, and we have records from persons who have now died, but 40 years ago, Mrs. Spoden talked with persons who had been in the inn when it was still, I've been in the bank barn. The bank barn was a stable because we had stagecoaches and post coaches which traveled the route. We have records of 16 stage stops a week that stopped at the inn, and they had the bank barn stable horses, and then on the second level they stored and repaired coaches, stage coaches, and we have records of people who remember it. It was still standing in 1926 that we know of, and an archaeological dig we had in 1972 located the foundation of that bank barn. So that will be reconstructed the way it originally was.
So I was going to ask if you could tell us a little bit more about the inn and the flatboats.
This location is really unique as far as its water traffic. In, say, one of the routes west was in the Pittsburgh area, and that was to the Ohio River. And the Ohio River was deep. The regular deep keel boats could travel there. We're located here on the Holston River, which is a broad, shallow river, and really could not have keel boats. So the flat boats were developed. They were practically all of them 14 feet wide and flat bottom, 60 feet long, varied some, but most of them about 60 feet long. And we have records of from 1814 to 1817. We have copies of the actual records of the transactions for flatboat travel, the cargo they carried, the cost to build them. We have all that information. And underway now will be a reconstructed flatboat sitting on the banks to display what was unique for our shipping area. It was so important that Henry Judd referred to the inn as being the only known restoration that he knew of in the nation. There was both a shipping point and a hotel, a stage stop. He felt that was very unique and should be remembered.
And who were some of the historic figures that stayed in the inn?
Well, probably the most unique one was Andrew Jackson, because Jackson was a good friend of Richard Nelson, personal friend, and he tells Jackson in some of his art recounts coming to this area. Now, Andrew Johnson, President Andrew Johnson, and John Netherland. John Netherland was the son of Richard Netherland. John Netherland was an attorney, and in fact John Netherland owned Rosemont, the beautifully restored building in Rogersville. But John Netherland and Andrew Johnson roomed together in Nashville when they both served in the Tennessee legislature. Then, when he became president, John Netherland was one of two people that spoke in Andrew Johnson's behalf in Washington during the impeachment hearings. So he and John Netherland and Johnson were very close personal friends. And so but this was the main route from Washington City to Nashville, and so a lot of people stopped here besides the important people, besides the presidents.
When you were restoring the inn, did you come across anything interesting that you can tell us about?
One of the things that's unique at the inn is the quality of the craftsmanship and the framing of the building. Of course, all the studs to the heavy floor timbers are wood paint connected, no nails. And the attic, you see all these exposed wood Roman numeral identified members. The joints are all made on the ground, and then the members were erected and put together with wood pegs. And the Roman numerals on them. One thing is interesting was, I don't remember the time period, about 1805. Prior to that, the Roman numeral, 1815. Prior to that, the Roman numerals, like 9, for example, would be a V and 4 ones. And whereas today it'd be a 1 before the X to indicate 9. So that's one way of determining age. But these Roman numerals are identified on all the members. We have one panel of the wall that's exposed. We have glass so you can see the framing. Between the interior plaster and the exterior siding is all filled with masonry. And it was called Nogging, N-O-G-G-I-N-G. And exactly why I was there are a lot of opinions. But I asked Mr. Judd if it would be all right to leave a panel open so the visitors could see the diagonal members and the studs and so forth, and the brick nogging. He said, well, that's pretty corny, but I guess it'd be all right. But people really do enjoy seeing it. All the traffic, they're called adventures. And then the record says that adventure westward or adventure eastward. Eastward would be by wagon. And the adventure eastward, they're listed feathers even were shipped.
And the salt